friends, this is Pavani, reasoning faculty. Okay, so I have 12 years of experience in reasoning. I'm very much passionate in teaching, that's why I'm taking this field. Okay, so I like very much reasoning also. Okay. I'm taking the classes previously, number of institutions. Okay, so then coming to the point, today we'll discuss about reasoning. Okay, what is the importance of reasoning in CSAT? Clear? So compared to other sections, reasoning is very easiest section in CSAT. Okay, but maximum students are thinking this is very difficult. Okay, they are thinking like that, but this is very easiest section in CSAT. Any background student, not only maths or non-maths. Clear? So any background student, it can be easily understand and crack the questions very easily. Clear? And within the time. Clear? But in other competitive exams, reasoning is different. Clear? But in CSAT, this is little bit different. What is the difference? Clear? But in other competitive exams, they have to given completely logical questions. Clear? But in CSAT, they have to given the questions complete concept oriented. Clear? That's why you must know the complete concept of reasoning here. Clear? You have to listen every class clearly and each and every section. Clear? So class is more than enough to understand the concept, but you need to practice. Okay, practice is very important. Clear? And in reasoning, clear, they have to given, actually in every student they have to understand the questions very easily and solve the questions within the time. Clear? So but in other section like quant and English, quant section is little bit time taking, because in that section you have to attempt some calculations like that. Clear? But here there is no calculations. You have to clear about the concept. You can attempt the questions within the section, within the minutes. Okay. So in 3 sections, in compared to CSAT, in 3 sections, reasoning is the very easiest section. Clear? And qualifying is also very simple. Actually in CSAT, paper 2 is the very step 1. Yes or no? Because without qualifying here, we can't do anything, right? But how to qualifying in paper 2, right? So that is important. Clear? So first we will discuss topics in reasoning, then we will discuss how to qualifying and what are the important topics in this section. Clear? And what are the weightage of questions are also. Clear? But every year we are expecting in reasoning 20 to 25 questions. Clear? Not exactly, they have to given 20 to 25 questions. Clear? And in these topics, what are the important topics? I can tell you. Okay. So the first most important topic is coding decoding. Clear? And that is very interesting concept and easiest concept also. Clear? So coding decoding here, we are expecting 1 to 2 questions. I'm giving weightage also here. Clear? Not exactly the expectation of the questions. Clear? So the first one is coding decoding. Here all the questions are related to alphabets. Right? How many alphabets are there? 26. Right? So in every question you have to solve based on the positions of the alphabets. Clear? So this is very interesting concept. Clear? And the next one is letter series, letter analogy and also letter classification. Clear? So here 3 concepts are there based on letters. Series is different, analogy is different and also classification. We don't know exactly which section they have to given. Maybe if it is letter series or analogy or else classification. But the expectation of questions are 1 to 2. Clear? So series means the complete all the letters are, they are followed by some sequence, right? you have to understand the sequence and find out the logic in that letters, right? This concept is also completely related to positions of the alphabets. Clear? And you must know, without writing the letters, you must know the each and every letter position. Clear? If it is in left to right or else right to left. Left to right means A to Z and right to left Z to A. In that case Z is 1, A is 26, right? So the reverse order is also very, very important. Because, why? Because if the positions are clear, without using pen we can expect the answer. Because what is the difference in that letters? If it is increased or else decreased, right? We can't understand exact the sequence in letters, but the numbers we can expect very simply. It is increased or else decreased. So that's why the positions are very, very important. Is it clear? Right? And the next one is number series. Clear? So number series and numbers analogy and also number classification. Here also these three concepts are same, but this is completely related to letters and this is completely related to numbers. Clear? So and next one is repeated series. Here we are expecting 1 to 2 questions. Clear? So repeated series also completely related to letters. Clear? Or repeated series or else repeated series, right? We can say anything. And next one is alphabet test. Clear? Here we are expecting 1 mark. If it is maybe or may not be, right? Not exactly. Alphabet test is completely based on the alphabets, but the questions are difficult because they are asking how many meaningful words are there. Clear? And how many if the letters are arranged in increasing order or else in decreasing order, right? How many letters are unchanged enter, because based on the original position and the after the interchanging, right? Like that questions they have to give an alphabet test. Clear? So here you must know the preceding and follow, that is the concept highly. Clear? And the next one is directions. This is very, very important concept. Definitely we are expecting 1 mark in every year. Clear? So how many directions are there? 8. Clear? So 4 are the main direction and the remaining 4 are corner directions, right? So based on directions they have to given the questions, if either direction or also distance. Clear? And next one is blood relations. Clear? Here we are expecting 1 to 2 marks. Blood relations. This concept is very, very easiest concept if you are perfect in relations. Otherwise this is very, very confusion concept. Clear? But no problem. We are discussing everyone, right, in the class. Clear? So all the questions are related to complete relations. Clear? And the next one is ranking. Ranking. Here we are expecting 1 mark, right? They are asking the person rank in the class or else row or column, whatever they have to give in. Clear? Right? And next, seating arrangement. This is also very, very important concept. Clear? They have to given 1 to 2 questions. Clear? But in other competitive exams they have to given seating arrangement minimum 5 questions, right? But in CSAT they have to given only 1 to 2 marks, but the question is very simple question, but it is very logical. Clear? So here we have to arrange positions of the persons based on some conditions. Clear? If it is left side or else right side, the persons are arranged in row or column or else circular arrangement, right? Based on person facing we have to find out the positions here. Is it clear? Right? And the next one is puzzle test. We are expecting puzzle test minimum 3 questions. Clear? So 3 questions, 1 to 3 questions, right? So these 2 concepts are very, very important, right? And the next one is missing numbers, right? So this missing numbers and number series both are almost same, clear? But in the missing numbers they have to given the question structure in puzzle based, clear? You have to find out the logics, if it is increased or decreased, whatever. Here we are expecting 1 mark, means 1 question, right? And the next one is Bodmer's rule, right? So this is very simple, right? Based on Bodmer's rule, you have to calculate one equation, clear? And the next two topics are clocks and calendars. Here definitely we are expecting 1 mark, right, in both the topics, right? One is clocks, another one is calendars, clear? So these are the main concepts in verbal reasoning, clear? And reasoning is also divided into 2 parts. One is verbal and also non-verbal, clear? So this, but in these all the topics we can't expect exactly which one is, definitely they have to give it, clear? We don't know exactly that is, right? And next, here we are discussing non-verbal reasoning, right? In complete non-verbal reasoning, we are expecting minimum 5 to 6 questions in every year, clear? So what is the first concept? Series, right? Already we will discuss previous in verbal reasoning, series, analogy, classification, clear? But the concept is same, but in that they have to given letters and numbers. Here completely pictures, like diagrammatically, clear? So the diagrams followed by sequence or not, we have to find out the logic in that diagram, then based on the logic find out the next diagram. Is it clear? So that is series. In this also we can't expect exactly which one is important. Definitely we must know all the concept. In this all the concept they have to give 5 to 6 questions, clear? Completely. And next here embedded figures, all the concepts are related to diagram based, clear? So and next figure completion and also matrix figure, mirror images, water images and paper folding and cutting, and also cubes and dice, clear? These all the concepts are non-verbal reasoning. Is it clear all of you? Yes. Right. Completed? Then how to qualifying in paper 2, right? So that is the important, right? First we will discuss here qualifying nature, clear? Why? Because maximum students are thinking English is tough, or else some non-math students are thinking quant is tough, clear? But reasoning is very easiest to concept to any background students, yes or no? Here first they have to given total number of questions are 80 questions, yes or no, right? And each question carries 2.5 marks, right? And the total marks are 200, clear? Not 80. Each question carries 2.5. Then the total marks are 200, clear? So qualifying is definitely you must score 33%, clear? Otherwise we can't do anything. Yes or no? That's why this is the first step of CSAT antonym, clear? So how to score 33%, clear? So 33% of 200 marks means definitely you have to score 66 marks compulsory, clear? So 66 marks means we need to attempt 25 questions without negative marking, clear? Sorry, 27 questions, right? You have to attempt 27 questions without negative marking, then we will get 67 marks. Is it clear? So in reasoning we are expecting every year 20 to 25 questions definitely antunam, clear? Then we are perfect in reasoning, yes or no? So then qualifying is very simple. Is it clear all of you? So that's why we'll get in reasoning we are expecting every year 20 to 25 questions, clear? So you have to practice, clear? Then we'll get practice is improve your speed and efficiency, okay? Concepts or we are discussing in the class, that is more than enough, right? You need to practice is important. Is it clear? I am giving 1 or 2 questions for example, right? Then what is this concept? Coding and decoding. Clear? So they have to given like this of questions in coding and decoding. How to expect the question and how to expect 50% answer without using pen. Yes or no? How to expect to them. So they are asking in a certain code language if butter is coded as, clear? EXWWHU, then in the same code language how will earth be coded and clear? So this is coding word. What is the answer? Anyone? 2. Option 2. What is the logic here? Answer is guessing or exactly? Exactly. Then what is the logic? Skipping 2 letters. And my suggestion, don't go for skipping always, because you have to go for based on the positions, right? What is the difference? Because skipping, yes?
E refers to H and
right. So butter is coded as EXWWHU. Here you are expecting, actually these 2 letters are same. Clear? And here also these 2 letters are same, right? 50% logic, definitely constant digit is adding, because if the digits is increasing, these 2 letters are changed. For example, +1, +2, +3, +4 undanukondi. If T is +3 is different letter, or +4 is will get different. Clear? But here both are T and here also both are double. Clear? So that's why definitely only one digit is different, but we don't know that if it is increasing or else decreasing. Then based on positions we can expect the logic. Here 2 and E is 5. How much is increased? 3, right? So don't go for all the letters, right? Directly go for the ending letter. This is 18 and this is 21, right? So 18, 21 also the difference is 3. Clear? Means up starting to ending only constant digit is adding. Clear? So if increasing letters unte, these 2 letters definitely interchange होता है. Clear? They are not giving exact letters. That is the clear. So same logic you have to apply earth. Clear? So earth, what is the position of E? 5, right? Only based on 5 letters we can remember all the position letters. That we will discuss in the class. Clear? So here the position of E is 5. So 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. So 8th letter H, right? Your answer must be starting with H only. Clear? So don't go for all the letters. Why? Because your answer definitely not 3, definitely not 4. 50% answer is clear based on the first letter. Yes or no? So here either 1 or else 2. In that 2 options, these 2 are same. Both are D. Don't go for the second letter, because definitely your answer is D only, because the second letter is D only. Why? Because in the 2 options they have to given D. Clear? What is the difference in that 2 options? You have to go for that position only. Clear? That is the time managing. Clear? In coding, decoding. Clear? So here this is W and this is U. Here what is the third position? 18. Already given in the question also. That is because same letter, same position you have to adding, right? So here already there are, right? R must be coded as U. And your answer is definitely the third position letter is U. Then your answer is option 2. No need to find out all the letters. Is it clear? If the logic is different or else different positions are adding, then we can find the every letter. Only constant isn't it? Don't go for the everyone. Is it clear all of you? Right? Okay. Please tell me what is the answer this one. Why you are taking this much of time? First question you have to. Sorry. In previous question they have to given only one pair. Butter is called as some logic and they are asking some question. But here they have to given two pairs. In a certain code language, thrust is coded as, what is the code? TJVRQS, right? And the next one, RIMPI is coded as, JSOXO. Then what is the code for rocket anode? Got it, anyone? If the two pairs are given, definitely you have to check both the pairs, or else sometimes both are followed by same logic, but sometimes both are followed by different logics. If the same logic are there, then no problem. We can apply the same logic for question. Clear? But here, what is this is constant, same letter. Clear? But remaining all are different. Clear? But compulsory the logic must be followed by some sequence. Yes or no? Either if it is left to right or else right to left or else cross. You have to find out that is what is the sequence. Clear? Here 20 is there, but this is 20 means the sequence is not followed by from left to right. Clear? So what is the logic here? First write down the positions of all the letters, right? So then find out the sequence. Clear? So here 20, 20, but these all the letters are changed, right? What are the nearby letters? Here 20 and this is 22 plus 2. Yes or no? And this is 18, 20 plus 2. Clear? And the middle letters are also plus 2. This is the very, very important logic. Actually, first question is the very basic question. They are not asking like that. Clear? Because that is left to right only sequence. Clear? But these are the cross coding. Is it clear? Then how to expect cross coding? Clear? So if the logic is not followed by sequence, you have to think about cross. Either two letters are interchanged or else first, last, and different ways are there. Clear? But here same, this is 2018, this is different and this is different. Yes or no? But this is plus 2, but here minus 2. The first three letters are plus 2 and the last three letters are minus 2. Clear? This logic must be applied by if the given number of letters are even only. Otherwise odd and exactly cross is not applicable. Yes or no? So here U is 21 and also 19 and 19, 17. All the letters are minus 2. Clear? So then what about RIMPI? Is it applicable? No. Why? Because these are the even number of letters and that is odd number of letters. Then you are thinking question is wrong. Yes or no? But no. Some of the here 18, 9, 13, 16 and 25. Clear? And here 10 and next 19, 15 and 24 and here 15. Clear? So then here 19 and 18 is plus 1, here also plus 1. Right? First two letters are cross, press 1. And here minus 1 and minus 1. Clear? And the middle letter is plus 2. 13, 15 is plus 2. Clear? Then two logics are clear. Then what about the question? Which logic you have to apply? Even numbers of letters. That is the logic here. That is very, very important logic here. Because here they have to given two types of letters. Sometimes they have to given both the words are followed by same logic. right? But sometimes both the words are followed by different logic, right? That must be applicable only based on the even position of letters and also odd position of letters. Clear? If your question is related to even number of letters, you have to apply this logic. If your question is related to odd number of letters, you have to apply this one. Is it clear? Right. So then what is the answer? Rocket, even number of letters 6. Clear? So applied first logic. What is the first logic? Cross, first plus 2 and the last 3 are minus 2. Clear? So and plus 2 means your first letter must be, this is 3 plus 2 means E. Clear? Your first letter must be E. Clear? Here two options are there starting with E, 1 and 2 only, right? In that two options, second letter is different. Clear? Only you have to find out the second letter only. Don't go for all the letters. Clear? So second letter is based on this one because cross kada. O is 15 plus 2 is 17. Then 17th position letter is Q. Clear? So then what is your answer? Option 2 only, because here there is none of these. Yes or no? They have to given 4 options answer. If the none of this is there, you have to find out the complete solution, because we don't know exactly if the answer is there or not. Is it clear all of you? Right? So then we'll discuss later each and every concept, right? And some more different examples. Clear all of you? Thank you.
Hi, good morning. My name is J. Rao. I have been in this field for the last 25 years, handling arithmetic and reasoning for CGL. Do you know what is CGL? Staff Selection Commission, Combined Graduate Level, Bank Exams, CSAT. I have been associated with Sosin classes right from the day one when this CSAT has been incorporated. Do you know in which year this CSAT was incorporated in CSAT, which is in UPSC? Right. So previously, if you take Sosin classes, earlier it was known as Target IAS. So right from the day one, I have been associated with Sosin ma'am. So for which I am grateful to ma'am. Right. So please note, just now you have come to know the beauty of reasoning, well handled by Pavani ma'am. Okay. In fact, what Pavani ma'am said is absolutely right. I feel that reasoning is it is easier when compared to that of arithmetic. Okay. So let us accept the fact. So there is a reason, please note, you have to definitely focus more on reasoning. Right. So coming to this, already I think ma'am might have told you. If you take the structure of the exam, already you might be knowing this, but you can just have a glimpse of this. So number of questions, 80. Each question carries 2.5 marks. Total marks 200, and a negative marks 1/3 mark. 1/3. Please understand, 1/3, and time is 2 hours. So in that, if you see 80 questions 2 hours, 40 questions 1 hour, and each question carries how many minutes or how many seconds? Come on, tell me. 80 questions 2 hours, or 80 questions 120 minutes, 40 questions 60 minutes, 1 question 90 seconds. So please note, I think CSAT is the only exam where you are getting abundant time. See, if you take CGL or you take bank exams, you are going to get 36 seconds, whereas you are going to get 90 seconds. So you have got a lot of time to attempt the exam. So this is the first point that to be noted. Clear? This is a very important point that to be noted, that because you have got a lot of time to choose which of the questions that you can handle without any problem. Okay. Next. So as ma'am might have told you, when you take the syllabus in general, okay, these are the 3 areas that are there in this: reading comprehension, 30 questions approximately; logical reasoning, I mean to say reasoning, 25 questions; and a quant. When I say quant, I am talking about arithmetic and basic pure maths, okay, including 25. But please note, this keeps on changing it, okay. So let us not, I don't mean to say that we have to stick to this. There are chances that it may vary. Yeah. Yeah, come on, tell me what is UPSC? Yeah, you might be understanding why this silly question was asked. Generally, we say that UPSC means Union Public Service Commission, but I give a different connotation for this. It is called as Unpredictable Public Service Commission. Why unpredictable? See, generally, what all the questions that we expect. See, for example, you are preparing for any exam. Normally, what kind of strategy that you adopt? Come and tell me. You take any exam, leave aside CSAT, you take any exam, let us take bank exams or CGL exam or any other exam. What is the strategy that you normally follow, or any aspirant? Yes, anyone? What is the, sorry? Okay. And other thing is that, can I say that you are going to look at the previous papers? Okay. So you are going to analyze the previous questions. Based on that, you will come to a conclusion. But please note, this is a gravest mistake that we will be doing in case you take CSAT. We should not do that. Understood? Generally what we do is that we see the previous papers, will come to a conclusion that, yeah, see, these are the areas on which we have to focus to get good marks. But please note, UPSC is totally unpredictable. It's not like that. I'll show you the evidence for that. See, if you take data interpretation, there was an area called data interpretation. Data interpretation. They give you data that you have to interpret. It can be in the form of a tabular form or a graph or a bar or anything like that, okay, or a pie chart in that way. See, in CSAT 2018, what happened is that 14 questions were asked. So what happened every year, next year, people thought that yes, definitely this year we are going to get more than 10 questions because 14 questions were asked in the year 2018. But what happened is that in 2019, just see this. How many? A big zero. And 2020, 1. So that is the reason I say this is totally unpredictable. So you have to focus on all the areas. You have to know the areas which are catchy, which are important. On those areas you have to focus rather than depending on the previous question format. Am I clear? Yes, you have to follow that, but it doesn't mean that they're going to repeat the same format. It's not like that. So this is a most important point that to be noted. Understood? This is one of the examples that I want to share with you. Another one, with your due apologies to Pavani ma'am, I want to tell you with respect to puzzle test. See, with respect to 2018, 11 questions were asked in 2018. And we take 2019, please note 6 questions. And 2020, 3 questions. So this is where, please note, the trend changes. Okay, so we cannot stick to a particular trend. So we have to see which of the areas that are important and you have to pick up those areas and you have to focus on that. But how to pick up which of the areas that are important? So there you require the faculty guidance. So why you need to take coaching is because the faculty is going to guide you which of the areas that are important with respect to any area and how to focus on those areas. Am I clear? So if you take the entire gamut of arithmetical reasoning, there are around 40 questions or 40 chapters, I would say. 40 chapters. Out of 40 chapters, now tell me, can you master each and every chapter? That's not possible. So there is a reason, please note, faculty guidance is very much important because you have to know which of the areas on which you have to focus. Okay? So questions can be from any of the nearly 40 topics of reasoning and quantitative aptitude. And see the statement. Every topic is as important as unimportant. What is the meaning of it? Yeah, it could be important. It could be, yeah. So that is the main problem with CSAT. So there is a reason, please note, you have to have a perfect strategy to prepare for this. Okay? Right. Now, yeah, first of all, you answer me. How much time can be invested on CSAT? Okay, what is today's date? 8th of Jan, and you are going to have exam in the last week of May, let us say. Okay, how many months you have now? Around 4 months. So tell me how much time you are going to spend on CSAT? Anyone? Let us say every day. So we are conducting a class. Say we are going to have class of 4 hours, and after that, how much time you can invest other than 4 hours? 2 hours. That is 4 plus 2, 6 hours. Can you spend 6 hours every day? See, we are going to start, say, the batch from 17th or so, and let us say that the syllabus completed by February 15th or so. Then after that, can you spend around 4 hours every day on this? Is it possible? No, that's not possible because please note, CSAT is of qualifying in nature. So you have to qualify. So there is a reason, please note, you can't spend too much of time on this. That is the reason, please note, out of the 40 chapters that are there, okay, you have to choose which of the areas that are important, on which you have to focus, and only then you're going to qualify. So this is very important that to be noted, because the syllabus is so huge. See, for example, if you take the year 2017, a question was asked on statistics. Now tell me, as a question was asked on statistics, do you mean that we have to deal with statistics? No, that's not correct. Understood? In the year, the same way, if you take last year, if you take around 4 to 5 questions asked on permutation, combinations and probability. Now tell me, shall I have to handle pure max now to as 4 questions asked? No, that's not like that. So there is a reason, please note, we have to choose all the areas that are important, and on that you have to focus. Why am I repeating this point again and again is because people have got a misconception. Generally what they do is that they are going to see the previous year paper, they say that yes, you see, these are the areas on which the question was asked. 5 questions from permutation combination, yeah, 10 questions from data interpretation, yeah, come on, we have to focus on that. No, that is absolutely wrong. You should not do that. Understood? This is a point that to be noted. See, there are certain areas which will be repeated. There are certain, I don't mean to say question, I am talking about the areas. So those are the areas on which you need to focus. For example, of course I did not prepare the chart in what way Pavani ma'am prepared. See, what are the areas that are important is that averages, every year we'll get around 1 to 2 questions on averages. You may take a note of it. Ratio and proportions. Ratio and proportions. Ages, of course, that is related to ratio proportions. Percentages, and please note, this is a very important topic, percentages. Average is very important. Every year 1 to 2 questions on that. If you see the last 10 years, these are the areas that are repeated. And we take percentages module, please note there are other areas related to that. Other one is profit and loss. Profit and loss. So percentages and profit and loss, very important. Simple interest and compound interest, yes, we may expect a question on that, but we are not sure. Time and work. Time and distance. Data interpretation. Data interpretation. So if you see the syllabus of CSAT, they'll use a word, basic numeracy. Okay, that I call it as a number system. Number system. And please note, this is very, very important. Okay. So please note, these are the areas on which you need to focus. These are the areas on which you need to master, because these are the areas generally we can expect question from that. Okay. So number system, averages, ratio proportions, ages, percentages, profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest, time work, time and distance, data interpretation, on which you have to focus. Okay. So please note, if you take number system, we may expect around 3 to 4 questions or even more than that. If we take percentage of profit and loss, around 3 questions from this. Averages, around 2 questions. Ratio proportions, around 2 questions. It doesn't mean that number system only 3 to 4 questions, it may scale up. Generally 1 to 2 questions on this. 1 to 2 questions, 2 questions. So when you look at this, see 4, 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 3, 11, 11 plus 2, 13, 13 plus 2, 15 plus 2, 17. Then how about other questions? See, this is what I want to say. Most of the questions that are asked in CSAT, they are logical oriented. They are not technical oriented. What is the meaning of technical orientation and logical orientation? Did anyone write a CGL? Bank exams? If you see the question that are asked in the various competitive exams, like you take bank exam or CGL exam, the questions are technical oriented. That is to say, you need to know a particular formulae or a technique to follow that. Here it's not like that. The questions are logical oriented. So you have to develop a logic to answer the question. So when I say we are going to get around 25 to 27 questions from quantitative aptitude, it doesn't mean that every question is picked up from the area. There are certain areas, there are certain questions where you can handle it logically. So logic is important. So when you take coaching, please note, you have to understand how to build up the logic. You have to know how to construct the logic, how to learn the logic. So that is important. So you have to always think out of the box. So that is the reason, please note here, creativity matters as well as logical thinking matters rather than technical orientation. Even if we ask a question on, say for example, percentages, it may be on percentages concept, but again that is a logical oriented question. So there is a reason, please note, what all the areas or what all the books that are available in the market, okay, pertaining to quantitative aptitude, that books are not relevant to CSAT. Is it okay? Right. So this is the way that you need to understand. So as I told you, 90 seconds available for each question, but why students are unable to clear the exam? See, if you refer last year or previous year or any year before, even IITians, because generally we say they are more intelligent, right? So even IITians could not get through CSAT. Why? The thing is that lack of proper strategy, point number 1. Lack of proper strategy, point number 1. Point number 2, students' emotional attachment to the complicated and lengthy questions plays a spoil sport. It's a very important thing to be noted. See, out of 80 questions, even if you take this year, I mean say 2022, out of 80 questions asked, if you just pick up the quant area, let us say around 30 questions are asked from quant area, around 10 questions are directly picked up from CAT level questions. They're of CAT standard. I can show you the paper. Once I start session, I'll be showing you the questions that were of CAT standard. In fact, I say some of the questions we asked in CAT previous paper, those questions were picked up. Now tell me, is it worthy enough focusing on those questions? Because when I say CAT standard, the question is really at a higher level. So that means out of 80 questions, around 10 questions you can't handle it because you need a lot of time to handle that. Yeah, you can do that question, but how much time you require? There are certain questions, in case you want to handle it, for that matter anyone, pan-India, in case anyone wants to handle the question, it will take not less than 5 minutes. There are certain areas, not last year exam, whichever exam you take, whichever previous CSAT exam you take, there are certain questions like that. So there is a reason, please note, you have to always think judiciously, like which of the areas on which you need to focus. There is a reason, please note, emotional attachment is not required because Indians are highly emotional. So there is a reason, please note, don't be emotional. You have to be practical. You have to always see which of the questions that you can handle it, because out of 80 questions, as Pavani ma'am said, you need to attempt questions. How many questions correctly? 27 questions. So just remember 27, 67. 27 questions correct, making correct, without marking any question wrong, and you're going to get through the exam. But what people do is that, what is a misconception or what is the wrong strategy that people take is that you try to focus on the entire syllabus. No, that is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. In fact, with respect to quant, that is absolutely wrong. Yeah, with respect to reasoning, yes, you can do that. With respect to English, that you can do that. But with respect to pure, it is arithmetic, you should never do that. You have to focus only on some of the areas to get through this, because our target is to see that, what? To clear the exam. Understood? So there is a reason, please note, out of 80 questions, you have to see that at least 40 questions you have to clear without any problem. That's what you have to understand. So don't try to focus on every question. Don't be a perfectionist. You see, any perfectionist will never get through any exam. You try to excel the exam. Don't try to be perfect. That's not correct. Understood? So that is really, I can say, it's a hallucination. So you should never try to be perfect. Always try to excel in the exam. So there is a reason, please note, you have to always see how to get 40 questions correct. That's all. 50%. Bas, bindas, clear. Exam is clear. So that's what you have to focus. So there is a reason, please note, as you got abundant time, you have to see which of the questions on which you need to focus. Right, next. Okay, so let us discuss a couple of questions, because this time what happened is that most of the students, they've asked me, sir, are you going to deal permutations and combinations and probability this time? Because 5 questions were asked from that. So we need to focus on that. Now I tell you, first of all, don't try to think technically. Percentages, yeah, I have to learn percentages. No, don't try to think technically. I've told you. Always try to think logically. So how to think logically? In that way, I have picked up 2 to 3 questions, and this question was asked in CSAT 2022. Just look at the question. How many 3-digit natural numbers, look at the question carefully, without repetition of digits are there such that each digit is what? Odd, and the even number is divisible by 5. Okay? Each digit is odd and the number is divisible by 5. So this is a question that was asked 2022. How many 3-digit natural numbers? What are natural numbers? Anyone? See, 0 is not a natural number. 0 is a whole number. So when I say natural numbers, means counting numbers. That means 1, 2, 3, 4 in that way to the infinite. So these are called natural numbers. So they're asking you how many 3-digit natural numbers are there without repetition of digit are there such that each digit is odd and the number is divisible by 5. Say when a number, think logically now, don't try to think technically. When a number should be divisible by 5 means what is, for example, you take a number, I've taken a number like this. Now tell me whether this number is divisible by 5? No. That means in case a number should be divisible by 5 means what is a basic criterion that you have to 0 and 5. Very good. So that means definitely if you take the unit digit, can I say this is units place and this is tens place. In the units place which number should be there? Either 5 or 0. But here what did they say? Natural. When I say natural, can 0 be there? No, because natural number starts from where? 1. That means here definitely which number should be there? 5. So in this way, please note, questions are logical oriented rather than technical oriented. See, it's a simple concept that you have to pick up 3-digit numbers where it's a natural number and where the number should be divisible by 5. So in that way, come on, tell me how many are there? Can you work it out on that? Come on, try to work out. Instead of my giving the answer, you try to work out. We want 3-digit natural numbers, and please note digit should not be repeated. Okay, each digit is odd. You please ignore this. And the number is divisible by 5. And the number is divisible by 5. 3-digit natural numbers. Come on, try to work out. All the digits are odd digits. And already got a clue. The unit digit is 5. See, 3 digits they said. That means it's like this. Hundreds, tens, units, and this is 5. This is fixed. That is fixed. So we need to find out how many such numbers are there. How many such numbers are there where all the digits are odd digits. Okay? Where all the digits are odd digits. And Each 3-digit number is divisible by 5 and the digit should not be repeated. You can still work out. You have to just focus only on the odd digits. By the way, what are odd digits? What are odd digits? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Yeah, the digit which cannot be divisible by 2. Simple. Yes, anyone? Yes, please. Somebody has given the answer. Very good. 12. See. Now let us go in a methodical way. See, first of all, you have to have a planning. Let us start with the smallest odd digit, 1. Okay. Digit should not be repeated. So 1, 3, 5. Can I say that? After that, can I take 1, 1, 5? No, digit should not be repeated. Can I take 1, 5, 5? No. So can I say 1, 7, 5? And after that, right? 1, 9, 5. Then after that, you take 3, 3, 1, 5. Can I take 3, 3, 5? No. 3, 7, 5. Then 3, 9, 5. And after that, can I take 5? No, because see 5 cannot be repeated. Okay. So after that, 7, 7, 1, 5, 7, 3, 5. Then 7, 9, 5. And after that, 9, 9, 1, 5, 9, 3, 5, 9, 7, 5. So total how many are there? 12. So this is not, if you see the quant, it doesn't mean that questions are going to pick up from quant. Questions are going to be prepared in such a way that they are of logical in oriented. Understood? So this is what you have to understand. Even if you talk about anything that is related to a particular topic, they don't ask you questions on technical orientation. They want to know whether you can really use your logic or not. Understood? So in that way, total, how many are there? 12 are there. Am I clear? Right. Now, see, if you look at this question, actually this is based on permutations and combinations, technically speaking. But that's what I'm telling you, don't use such kind of jargon, don't use such kind of language, just think logically. This is a logical oriented question, okay, because you're all average intelligent and any average intelligent person can handle this. What it says, A, B and C are 3 places such that there are 3 different roads from A to B, 4 different roads from B to C and 3 different roads from A to C. In how many different ways can one travel from A to C using these roads? If you think technically, that will be a problem. I am telling you, this is a question again asked where? CSAT 2022. So most of the questions are logical oriented. Come on, try to think on this. Come on, tell me the answer. 15. Very good. Answer is 15. And you need not use formulae. I am telling you, don't use formulae. Don't think in that way. Now let us discuss. See, A, B and C are 3 places, right? Such that there are 3 different roads from A to B. Now let us picturize that. A is there, B is there. There are 3 different roads. Road 1, road 2, road 3. Yeah. Then 4 different roads from B to C. 4 different roads from B to C. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. Yeah. Then 3 different roads from A to C. 3 different roads. 1, 2, 3. Now they are asking you how many possibilities are there, how many different ways are there, how many possibilities are there, okay, from A to C. It's very simple. Let us say if I say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Okay. Now if I say this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. Okay, now think logically. Say that a person has started from here on road 1. From road 1, okay, A to B. Now from here, can I say he can travel through via A, via B, via C, via D. So how many are there? How many possibilities are there? 4 possibilities. So if you come from A to B via 1, can I say 4 possibilities are there? When On a particular route, 4 possibilities are there. How many routes are there here? So 3 4s are 12. 12 is gunshot, right? Show shot. Then how many are there here? 12 plus 3. So now tell me, are you using any formula here? Simple. Answer is 50. So these are the questions that are going to be asked in CSAT. That's the reason, please note, I picked up the recent questions, the latest one. So there is a reason, please note, always try to build up the logic. That's important. Point number 1. And when you look at a question, you have to always see whether the question can be answered in the time frame. What is the given time frame? 90 seconds. Just look at the question. There are certain questions I am telling you which will take 5 minutes or 6 minutes for anyone across India. So those kind of questions should never pick up. Just leave the question, leave aside the question, go to the next question, because our target is to see that you are going to cross how many questions? 40 questions, that's all. So don't worry about the remaining 40 questions. Let us focus only on those questions which can be answered. Right. This is the last question I want to share with you. Let P be a 2-digit number, and Q be the number consisting of same digits. Understand the question. Same digits written in the, what is the meaning of reverse order? For example, I have taken a 2-digit number 12. Reverse order means 21. So simple. Okay. So let P be a 2-digit number and Q be the number consisting of same digit written in reverse order. If P into Q is equal to 2430, if P into Q is equal to 2430, then what is the difference between P and Q? Think logically. What is the digit here? In case you want to get digit 0 here, which number should be multiplied with which number? 5 with 2 into 5 or 4 into 5 or 6 into 5. That is to say, for example, say that I have taken like this 135 into 735 and ask you how many zeros you are going to get from the right side. In case you multiply this number with this number, you will never get a 0, because think logically, 5 5s are you are going to end up with 5 only, so you will never get a 0. So in case you want to get a 0, definitely a 5 should be multiplied with what? 2. That means think logically now, when you take this number is multiplied getting number, definitely one unit digit must be what? 5. Can I say that? One should be 5. That means now let us work out possibilities. Okay. Now let us say I have taken 25 multiplied with 52, because they say that you take a number, you reverse the number. 25, 52. Okay. Now see what is the product that you are going to get here? 2430. See, 25 50s are, 25 hundreds are how much? 25 into 100. 25 50s are means it is half of that, around 1250. So it is ruled out. Can I say that is wrong? Okay. Now take another number. 35 into 53. Now tell me, is it possible? No. So ruled out, because you have to get a 0. So take the 45 into 54. 45 into 54. Now don't try to work out on that. Just tell me 50 square is how much? 50 into 50 how much? Or tell me 5 into 5 how much? 5 into 5? 25. 50 into 50? 2500. What is the number they give you there? 2430. Now can I say this into this may be near to that? Yes or no? Simple. Answer is this. 2430. So in this way, please note, you have to have a logical approach rather than technical approach. So try to build up this kind of logic, and these questions are not available in RS Agarwal. Understood? Generally, what all the questions that CSAT is preparing, they always try to see that whether the question is logical oriented or not. Yes, of course, there are certain questions where they are technical oriented. There are certain questions which are very difficult, as I have told you. The question that are picked from CAT level, that let us not worry about that. That's not required. See, you are not going to be a faculty, right? You are going to be an administrator. Okay, if you want to become a faculty like me, yes, you have to focus on every question. So that's the reason, please note, try to be administrator, and administrator should always take effective steps. So that's the reason, out of 80 questions, you have to always see which of the questions on which you need to focus. Am I clear? So in the same strategy we follow here, that's the reason, please note, what all the areas that are important with respect to quant, only those areas we are going to discuss here in the given time frame. Am I clear? Yes, please.
Sir, can we divide
How do you divide the options? No. No. See, please understand the question. We did not till complete the question. Then what is the difference between P and Q? So that's not the number in fact. See, that's not the number. 45 is not the answer here. They're asking you what is the difference between the numbers. So when you take here, see, if you take here 45 4s are 180, 18 carry forward, 45 5s are 225, 225 plus 18, that is equal to 243. So answer is 2430. Now they're asking you what is the difference between P and Q. That is to say, if I say this is P, this is Q, come on, tell me what is the difference between 45 and 54? No, 45 and 54. 9. That's what they're asking you. See this, this is P and this is Q. What is the difference between 45 and 54? 9. So that's what the answer is 9. Understood? So they're asking you the difference between the number and the number which got reversed. Am I clear? So in this way, please note, questions are of logical oriented. You have to always think in that way. And when question is so difficult, you have to just skip the question. I tell you, focus more on reasoning, focus more on comprehension. And if you take arithmetic, which of the areas that are important, on those areas you have to focus, because you have to have a holistic approach in clearing the exam. Am I clear? So in this way, please note what all the areas that are important, only those areas will be taught here. And we want to see that you're going to clear through the exam and you have to come out with flying colors. Okay? So thank you very much. So we are with you in your success journey. Okay? I wish you all the best.
Yes. Good morning to one another. So I'm Prem Kumar. So I've been teaching for last 15 years with various people, various level of the students. Ma'am taught some logic and sir taught some magic. I'm standing before you to teach some tragic, right? No, it's not a tragic, right? We'll make a comedy that, right? Or a tragic comedy, right? Already sir, ma'am, they gave a introduction of mass, right? No need to go again. Let's see. You look at sir has shown a PPT there, and in English we say 30 questions, arithmetic on reasoning. We'll see, right? 20 questions. Sorry, 30. Now you can understand what the weightage is given, right? For arithmetic and reasoning, 25 questions approximately, right? And reasoning, 25 questions, whereas in English it is given 30 questions, right? So it is given some weightage, right? Importance. 80 questions, out of 80 questions, right? 30 questions are coming from English or reading comprehension. If you are good at reading comprehension, we can easily qualify the paper 2. I mean, not that, right? Don't go with the paper, other arithmetic and reasoning, right? Go with that. Focus more on English. We can easily do it. See, of course, we know that why for you people, paper 2 CSAT is, right, prescribed. They introduce paper 2 for civil service examination. Mainly these are the skills that they are going to test. When you look at problem solving, logical reasoning skills, interpersonal skills. We can go with arithmetic and reasoning, problem solving or logical reasoning, as ma'am taught, right? Logic, some problematic questions. When come to in English, reading comprehension, why they prescribe reading comprehension in civil service examinations or paper 2. Interpersonal communication skills, making a communication with the people smoothly. So when you're traveling with your dream job, we need to communicate with so many different kinds of people. So communication is very important. How you make a communication, right? That's through language or different various skills like interpersonal communication skills, which is sometimes language skills, know that language skills? We'll discuss that one, right? Language skills. Okay, then decision making skills, analytical abilities and reading comprehension. That's what I mentioned over here, reading comprehension mainly, right? We need to deal with various government, right, programs, policies and problems. To deal with problems, various, right, look at policies and programs. We need to have a communication. We need to, right, understand the English. Then only we can make it beautiful, the relation. If you do not have a reading comprehension properly, a communication properly, right, so it shows that, right, what is the tragic actually with, right, your dream job, right. So Samuel Johnson is that language is the dress of thought. The dress of thought. Do you understand the statement? What you think, what is there in your mind. To make a communication, we use the language. We are giving a dress to your thought. How beautifully, effectively, efficiently that makes people convince by using the language. Language skills. Look at the language skill. You can name it any language, or Telugu, Hindi, or English, any language you take on this globe. It has 4 skills. Listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Listening, speaking, reading, and writing. We say LSRW skills. LSRW skills. How a baby learns a language? By listening. How we learn a language? By listening. The more we listen, the more we can speak. Whatever the language. First we need to listen English. You want to speak in English, you want to communicate in English, you are good at it in reading comprehension or writing skills, right? We need to listen more English. How much time you are spending? Listen to English. There is a difference between listening and hearing. What is the difference? Listening and hearing. Are you hearing me or listen to me?
Listening.
Yeah, what is the difference?
Hearing is normal thing. Listening is we have to comprehend it inside our brain.
Okay, what's the good name? Vasista. Very good, excellent. That was the listening. So hearing.
Hearing is just hearing. We are just passing by.
Passing by, exactly, right? So here means without attention, without focus, without concentration. We hear some sounds, chipping sounds, tapping sounds there, we ignore. But when it comes to listen to, means we focus, we pay attention, right? When we pay attention and focused, attentive to learn a language, right, easily we can learn. Speaking, so when you do it more, right, you can easily do it the next one, speaking. See that people who are deaf, they are not able to speak by both, right? They are also dumb because they are not able to listen. That's why they can't speak. Right? So everybody on this earth, they can do listening and speaking. The rest too, reading and writing, right? The people who are, we see them educated or literate people, right? They can do reading and writing part. We'll see these two, listening and reading, we say receptive skills. Receptive skills. We receive the information. When you listen something, when you're reading something, right, we receive the information, we get the information. So they're called receptive skills. When you're speaking something or writing something on the paper, right, we produce the information. So we say productive skills. We say productive skills. We produce the information. When I'm speaking something, right, I'm giving information to you. When I'm writing something, right, I'm giving some information to the readers. So it's the productive skills. So here you focus there, here mainly, right, reading comprehension, receptive skills, reading comprehension. We need to use our mental faculties to receive the information, right? To receive the information, reading comprehension. Look at what are the reading skills? When we look at the in the school or in the colleges, we have a reading comprehension. See, reading comprehension, without a reading comprehension in the government sector, any exam you take, right, there is no paper, question paper in government sector. You take constable exams, essay exams, right? Or you take, right, SSC exams, civil, SCGL, or you can take civil service or paper 2, right? There is, right, a passage in all government, right, exams. We need to understand what is the importance of reading comprehension. If you understand meticulously, it is easy for us. We can do that. With English only can qualify for paper 2. If you are good at that, you concentrate, focused. So reading skills, we need to read in different, applying different skills. When you read in newspaper, when you are preparing for the exams, semester exams, when you are preparing for the civil service exam, right? Do you apply same method? No, we give different, right? Because to understand the concept, to save the time, right? We give different approaches. We can call it skills. First one, right, we look at skimming. Skimming like a skipping. When you read a newspaper, see the headlines, we try to understand what the content is there. Seeing the headlines, subheadings, we can understand, I can grasp, right? So we can see that passages, content, article, something. So the author is going to tell about, we can guess. So we need to guess looking at the, right, main words or content words, headings, subheadings. So we can say that some information we get looking at by just looking at the paragraph or passage. So skimming, right, is important. Then scanning, it's like a scanning report. When you go to a hospital, doctor first, right, he asks the scanning report. So why he asks the, why do you ask scanning? Till the problem, right? So by the problem where is exactly, can give the treatment based on that. Scanning is looking for specific information. Right? What the information is there in the passage, right? We look for the specific information. No need to answer, right? All the things. As you see that elimination method is there, right? And arithmetic and reasoning, we see the specific information there, specific part that we need to apply the skill. And intensive reading. Intensive reading, we need to read what the content is there. Sometimes we need to go beyond the passage or the intention. When we read poems, poetry, sometimes they'll give a wheel, a picture, wheel. Sometimes they'll use the color. The wheel means it's a life cycle. We need to go beyond the passage. So the wheel is mentioned in the passage of poetry, that means is telling about the life cycle. We need to understand that one. Sometimes you mention the color, symbols, signs, right? We need to understand, right, what it represents. That is called in detail, in-depth meaning of the context. In the reading comprehension, right, when you look at sometimes a scan, sometimes skim, sometimes look at the intensive details. And sometimes we'll see that extensive part. People who get plenty of time, they go with extensive reading novels sometimes, right? Some books they like. Then when you have a habit of reading, they'll get much vocabulary. They come to know, right, sentence structure, grammar, so they can make it, right, reading skill effectively. Out of these, right, reading skills, we need to apply, right, these 4 skills based on the situation, based on the context. Of course, when you look at the passages, reading comprehension in all the CSAT paper, what the passages, right, will be asked. What are the passages that come from, right? So these are areas. Just I mentioned that word spelt. Social, scientific issues, right, and political, economic, educational, entertainment, logical, and technological. If you look at any passage, they are based on these areas. Any passage you take, maybe it is a social, sometimes, right, scientific, or political, or logical, technological, science and technological. So we understand the passages that we are going to attempt in the reading comprehension based on these areas. So see that, right? Some background we get that passage, fine. Then how to develop reading comprehension? How to develop reading comprehension? The simple method, practical method, known method, right? Reading English newspapers, right? Books, stories, editorials, articles. As a civil servant aspirant, we read articles. We read articles. We read books, so many books. Three important areas, right? We need to focus when you're reading article or anything else. Read, right? By reading articles, we come to know what is the content. Everybody knows. Information will get it. But see the peripheral. What is the structure there? So beginning, middle, and because we are going to write an essay in the civil service, right? When you're reading an article, see the structure. Because the same structure we are going to write an essay in the examination. How will start? Sometimes they start with proverbs, quotations, questions, right? Some statements. When you read some stories, some articles, then place our eyes on that. So the 3-4 lines, so you drag the attention of the reader, so it's out of the other. That much, if you write an essay, putting your ideas on the paper effectively, right? That gives, right, faces you qualifying. So we need to understand the structure, then see the content, then we see the vocabulary. If you learn more vocabulary, it is easy for us to understand the reading comprehension. If you do not understand, right, much vocabulary, it's sometimes difficult. We face difficult vocabulary. So read the vocabulary, observe the vocabulary, see the sentence structure, see the grammar part, right? How starting, middle and ending, all these things will come, right? So that means simply, right, we see as only content. What is that, right? This matter we get that noted down the right points. Just we ignore the structure. You focus there. That's important thing. Then, of course, right, the skills that we need to, what is the comprehension I given, right? It's not understanding. It's intellectual understanding. Everybody can do that. Understanding, right? So here in the paper 2, right, when you observe this one, intellect understanding is important thing. We need to apply our mental faculties very carefully, cautious, be attentive when you are, right, attempting a reading comprehension in paper especially, right? So these are the skills, just right, have given that, understanding, given the text efficiently. Look at, need to be very good at vocabulary. That's the important thing when you're reading, right, articles or anything else. Put an eye on the vocabulary, right? This is very important point. Testing your ability, recognizing implications. As I mentioned, that indirect meaning is something like color or a picture or a sign, symbol. It is given in the passage. What is the implication? What is the indirect meaning of what it represents? Right? We need to understand that. So then, inferences. That's also very important, right? We'll discuss that. What is the inference? That is something, right? Now coming a conclusion based on some evidence, right? Based on the passage. Inferences we need to get, and vocabulary. Of course, right? Ability to look at the meaning. This is important thing. Ability to look at the meaning. Sometimes contextual the meaning is different. Let me say that, right? A word, if you take, what is that? Chest. So I visited yesterday a temple. There is a beautiful chest. What means that? Table. Very good. Maybe that. Huh? Something like that. So actually what we get, the chest means the front part of the body. We can say that, right? We have that idea. Chest means, right, it's an offering box. Offering box. According to context, we need to get the meaning of, right? That's what look at, ability to look at the meaning according to context. That's important, right? Answer must be based on the passages. We'll discuss that one, right? Deduce the information with its meaning. We need to arrive a conclusion with the based on the text, based on the question asked. Right, important, right, strategies. If you look at the 20 to 25 to 30 passages are there, sometimes every passage contains only one question, sometimes 2 or 3 questions they'll ask based on the passages. There are some, right, short passages are there are some lengthy passages are there. We understand if you ask that lengthy passages means that, right, you wanted to waste your time, right? No, you wanted to test your, how much, right, comprehensive knowledge you have, saving the time, right? That's the important thing we need to understand that. So if this passage is very short one, read the passage first. Read it. Then based on the right passage, questions based on the passage, you can answer to that. If sometimes, right, a passage is so lengthy, if you start beginning and go on reading and reading, it takes 2-3 minutes, time is over, right? So don't waste the time. Then you go to the question first. Understand that, right? So this one, you read the question first, then you go to the passage. I mentioned that first one, scanning. Scanning means looking for specific meaning. You see the question, look at the passage, where it is relevant to that one, look at that, right, 2 or 3 lines, again come to the passage, again go there, connect it, alright, then go for the right option. Eliminate the other sections and go for the right option. We can save the time. We can save the time applying the second method. If it's so lengthy, passages are there. Preferably do the first one. For English, as sir mentioned, 90 seconds are there. We need to answer the, right, read the passage and answer the question, right? Maybe it takes 2-3 minutes. But if you do practice, we can do it. In 1.5 minutes you can answer. So it's very important, very cautious, right, in attempting reading comprehension, especially to save that time, right? Then look at some points, right, how to focus in reading a comprehension. Just I am giving that. Be active and quick reader, focus on the central idea. Yeah, as I mentioned, right, 1 or 1.5 minutes you need to spend for every, right, question. Important thing. Don't apply your previous knowledge. It's important thing. They ask the question, right, based on the passage only. When you're reading an article, we get much information. When the passage is given, right, that information we can apply. That is, right, possible for the right answer. But don't do that. Don't do that. Based on the passage only, we need to answer the questions. Don't apply previous knowledge for that to answer the questions. Don't go beyond the passage. Sometimes I say that, right, intensive reading. You stand there and what is the intensive meaning of the symbol is there, right? Don't spend much time there. To understand, sometimes, right, we need to go. But when you answer the question, don't spend much time over there thinking about what the beyond meaning of, right, passage or content or symbol, what is mentioned there in the passage. So again, don't emphasize trivialities. Some irrelevant matters. Sometimes they used to confuse you that. He wants to confuse you. So don't go with that. Spending much time there, right? Skip that. Focus mainly the question on what the answer, content relevant to that one. Then, don't go too much for the meaning of the, right, between lines or not the keywords in the question, practice previous, right? This is an important thing, keywords in the question. Keywords. That's a very important thing in the question and the passage. We'll see some example there, right? We understand, of course, right? The 3 tips I'm giving that elimination method: information, elimination, and inferences. In the information, right? We look at straightforward questions. Sometimes they'll ask just some logic, right? To remember, we'll discuss in detail later. Some question, right? They're straightforward. Sometimes you see implicit or inferences, right? Indirect meaning. We'll discuss that. Then elimination method. We know that based on, right, a question asked, the content revealed. We could go with this, right? Elimination method. Inference. That's what I mentioned, right? Arriving at a logical conclusion there. Logical conclusion. This is the paper 2 mostly, right? Logic. We say that, right? Logical conclusion. how we can go, right? How can we apply logic conclusion in reading comprehension? We'll see in example, right? Just I'm giving a picture over here to understand, right, what is the reading comprehension then. Look at reading comprehension. If you think it's a goal, you're right, you want to become a civil servant aspirant. Of course, we are here, that's why. Before this, right, we need to go through this. Before this, right, we see this one, right, reading comprehension. If the basement is so strong, right, the building is, it gives, right, much life, long lasting. In reading comprehension, you see, right, you say sand, concrete and cement we use. Say arithmetic, reasoning and English, right, if you think about that, right. I say cement, right, which connects both concrete and sand, is so strong, right. That means if we have a good reading comprehension, English knowledge, right, English reading comprehension, right, so we can attempt, we can do not only for the exam point and qualifying paper, right, for lifelong. Wherever, right, you are working, you are doing with a dream job, right, we can be efficient to make ourselves distinguish, right, the communication. Fine. Just I'm giving an example, right, we'll see what is the theory application, right, what we gone through these strategies. We'll see an example. Just look at, I divide the people, right, to know who are preparing for this paper to write, maybe that easy, difficult and balanced. Who come from English medium background? I think you are come from English medium, I think, right? Is there anyone from Telugu medium or regional background? Alright. So what we think that it's easy for us. English we just, right, we take it very light. We didn't give much importance. We can do at the 11th hour, we can, right? We take it very light. But don't do that. It's also very important. The English you know is different the English you are going to attempt in CSAT paper 2. People who come from Telugu medium background, they make themselves hell. They make complicated. They have fear, right? So because English is for a, right, a huge devil for them, right? Don't do that. Don't get scared. But it don't take easy for you people, right, to come from English medium background. Don't scare people who come from Telugu medium or regional background, right? Make it a balance. That's important thing, right? So how you can make a balance? By doing the practice, understanding the concept. So important thing here, right? We look at question paper pattern, right? When we look at that paper 2, the question paper pattern, there are 80 questions are there. First they'll ask 10 questions English and 10 questions arithmetic and reasoning. Again 10 questions, right? English and go on. There's some people, they do the first, they attempt only English paper. First 10 English, then you go to the other 10 English, right? Passages like this. After English, right, they'll go with the arithmetic and reasoning. But the second group of people, they can do according to the paper pattern. English, arithmetic, reasoning, English, arithmetic. They go with that. If you go with the first method, only English, right? So our mind, right, will get tired. We may not focus, concentrate on that. If you do all 30 English questions, sometimes you get confused, you get bored. Don't do that. Already the paper set he made us easy. What is the question paper pattern? You go with this. If you read English, then you go arithmetic and reasoning, right? Our mind gets switched, right? So you can get refreshed. You can think. So you follow the second one, follow the question paper pattern, right, as it is. Right. So we have seen what are the types of passages. Like spell test say that. Some social, right? Scientific, you will say, political, logical, right? Passages will come. When you get a passage, the types of themes, what areas he is going to test us. What are themes, main themes, if you take a passage in CSAT paper 2, right? Mainly you can observe, right, 3 or 5 areas. Main idea, assumption, inference, implied and corollary. I use that word, right? Again we got that inference, assumption, main. If we take all 30 question passages in English paper 2, if segregate them, we see these themes, these areas, their approaches is asking. A passage, any passage, based on either main idea, assumption, inference, implied and corollary. Okay. What is main idea? Right? We say sometimes main idea or central theme, main message or crucial message, sometimes according to author, right? A question will get that. Based on this, right? The first one. Then assumption. It's a very, very important thing. The most important and reading comprehension. If there are 30 passages are there, you get 20 passages based on the assumptions. See how much importance is giving that. Look at the passages. Last year paper we take that. The more questions based on assumptions. Paper setter wants to see the skill, your interpersonal communication, logic, reasoning, right? Your mental faculty, based assumptions. If you understand these terminologies very well, if keep it in mind, right, very clearly, it is easy for us to attempt the questions based on the passages. Without knowing the terminology, it's difficult. What is assumption? What is the inference? What is the implication? What is the corollary? What is the main idea? Right? We need to know this. All the themes or passages are contained based on these themes, 5 themes. We know the first one, themes, right? Main idea, central idea, crucial. Assumption, see the accepted as truth without a proof. In the passage, without proof, we need to, right? The passage, the question, based on the question, right? The answer may be seen true without proof. Let me say an example. Who invented medicine for smallpox? Smallpox. Smallpox. Edward Jenner. Correct. How he invented? Pencil. How he invented?
He used the disease itself to create the medicine.
Before that story, look at that, right? What is he that in his area? So all the people, most of the people, they were affected by this smallpox, except the few people who are, living with the cattle. But he was wondered, and he made some research area that why these people are not affected in the world, right? All the people are affected by the disease. Then he came out with some solution, right? Some medication. That's the reason. It's a hunch. We can feel air. Can you show the air? No. So we can feel, we can say it's the truth without proof. Assumption means, right? There is something I can believe strongly that it's the reason, right? But I can't show the proof. Some passages, when the question is asked, so this is so, right? This is a correct answer. There is no proof over on the passage, but it is the correct answer. See that? Thus we can see, thus he wanted to test you, mainly that question paper, right? In the civil service examinations, most of the questions based on the assumption, because how you are going to perceive, how you are going to confirm yourself based on the content. It's important thing. Inference, we know that, right? It's already fact is there, evidence is there. Based on that, we come to conclusion there. Understand that. Okay, this paragraph question is based on this one, right? Based on the proof is details is given in the passage. Of course, implied it's the indirect meaning. It is there in the already, right? In the context. Finally, corollary is the something results out of something, right? Is results. What the right concept, consequences, influences of that we can give answer. Fine. Just I'll give some, right? The 3 important passages as I mentioned that. When you look at the passage, first you see the structure, then content and concept. Most of the people, this is the content. We understand the content and go with the questions. Structure also we can see that, as I mentioned. concept is very important. We read a story, an article, we understand that. Just we leave it. What is the application of that? There is a moral. When you read stories, at the end, right, you can say there is a moral. So that is application, that is a concept, the framing the whole passage. Why he asked the question, a passage, right, is given that and ask the question means there is some concept that you need to understand, we need to understand. So that's a very important thing, right, we need to focus. When you focus, right, this content and concept, structure, if you know the structure, you can do well in the writing essays or in the exam part. Structure, that's the important thing. Content we understand, concept we need to apply, we need to practice, we need to implement. When you read the story, when you know the moral, we need to practice it. So he is asking the concept. As a civil servant aspirant, we need to know the concept. Look at some example, we look at that, right? Based on the, right, the passages answer the questions based on the passages. That's important thing. Let me ask, what is this? What is this? Dot. What is this? Point. Dot, point, very good. What is this? Point. Point. Full stop, very good, right? Very good, it's a full stop. Then, full stop. Full stop. Point, okay, I already said point. Starting point, I know. Dot, already is given dot. It's a dot. Full stop. Dot. I'll say mark. It's a moon. It's a sun. It's a center. It's a coin. It's a bangle. It's a marble. It's a ball. Right? You go on. Go on. Small dot. That's your perception. Looking at a point, an object, in a different perceptions. Different perception. You understand it's a dot. You understand it's a point. You understand something is a marble, is a ball. Right? We understand different concepts. But he asked the very important thing, right? Highlighted that based on the passage. I say that it's a center. What is that? It's a center. Though they are all correct. They are all correct. But this one is the correct one. We need to understand the passage based on the questions. I say that don't apply your previous knowledge. Don't go too much there beyond the meaning. Because we are reading articles, he knows very well. You are preparing for civil service examinations, you read articles, you know the subject matter very well. But he makes confused based on the passage. Bounded to the passage. Your answer should be based on the passage, not beyond that. Though your answer is correct, your perception is correct. All are correct. Seems. But focus which is relevant to this one. See one example. There's a parallel, right? Just I'll read it out, the passage. In attempt, right? We'll try to come this one. See, the majority of people who fail to accumulate money sufficient for their needs are generally easily influenced by the opinions of others. They permit the newspaper and the gossiping neighbors to do their thinking for them. opinions are the cheapest commodities on the earth. Everyone has a flock of opinions ready to be wished upon by anyone who will accept them. If you are influenced by opinions when you reach decisions, you will not succeed in any undertaking. What this passage about? I look at this is asked the question, what is the main idea of the passage? The question is asked, the previous, last year, in civil service paper 2, right? He asked the question, what is the main idea? We divide the passages, right, like 5 themes. Main idea, assumption, inference, implied, and corollary. What is the main idea? I say that skimming, scanning, intensive, extensive. This is skimming, looking at the passage. We understand that main concept. What is this passage telling about?
People should not be influenced by opinions.
Opinions. Very good, excellent, right? So people should not be influenced by the opinions of others. Usually, easily influenced by the others. Speaking about the opinions, right? Opinions. What is the main idea of the passage? You see, look at here. People should not be influenced by the opinions of others. People should accumulate as much money as they can. People should neither give nor accept opinions. People will succeed in any undertaking if they do not accept any option at all. Which one is correct? C. A. Some say A, some say C. A. Then A. Right. Look at B. Okay, most of you say that A with B, right? People should accumulate as much money as they can. Does the intention of the author? No. Right? He's not speaking. Just accumulate money sufficient for their needs. Fail to succeed. Right? Accumulate. No. Second one, people should neither give nor accept opinions. Does it speak about this one? No. There are, right? Is he mentioned that? What is there? A flock of opinions ready to wished. Is speaking about that? No. So third one is not. What the fourth? People will succeed in any undertaking if they do not accept any opinion at all. Look at here. What do you say that? If you are influenced by opinions when you reach decision. When you reach a decision, when you reach a final stage, if you are influenced, you will not get succeed. That is the other intention, right? But here what you say that people will succeed, right, in any undertaking if they do not accept the so it's not wrong. So look at, people should not be influenced by opinions of others. He didn't say that directly. Majority of people are being influenced by opinions of others. You go and explain the details, but what is the concept other, what is the intention of the other? Right? We need to, the statement 1. People should not be influenced by the, indirectly, it's right? We understand. That's what I told you very clearly when I read the passage. We need to understand the main concept. Though it's not seen right in the passage, but implications are there. Inference is there, right? The main meaning is there. So his intention is that people should not be influenced by the opinions of others. Look at assumption, important there, right? So this is right. If you practice this one, right? If you know very well the concept and the terminology, right? We can do well. And right, 30 questions, after 30 questions we'll get definitely 15 to 20 questions based on this assumption. It is there the previous, just I'm giving right outlines of this one. Right, it's time over, right? Just I'll finish a couple of minutes. Can you go through this one? What is the main concept of this one? What is the paragraph about? Just read the first 3-4 lines, you can understand this one. Well, what is the paragraph about? About? Very good, excellent, right? technology in agriculture. Application of technology in agriculture. The passage is telling about. Here he clearly mentioned that, right? So here he mentioned that the problem is that application of technology. He mentioned that, right? And you can see that result. So problem is there, solution is there, and result also is there, right? He's speaking about. This is the paragraph for the questions he'll ask. Based on the passage, you need to keep it in mind very clearly. We ignore so many times. Based on the passage, right? Keep it in mind. The following assumptions. Development of agriculture technology is confined to developed countries. No. Agriculture technology is not adapted in developing countries. Look at here, developed countries and developing countries. He mentioned over here. Did he mention any developed countries over here? Developing countries in the paragraph? But he asked the question there. There we need to understand. He said that, right? Farmers in Western Americas, they represent developed countries, right? So again he mentioned over here, right? See, farmers in Africa and Asia, developing countries. What the question he asked, right? Sorry. Development of agriculture technology is confined to developed countries. No, it is not only confined to developed countries. That technology implementing in developing countries too. The first one is wrong. Agriculture technology is not adapted in developing. No, it's wrong. It is adapting in developing countries. So what is the answer? Neither one. Again, he'll ask again the same passage, right? Assumption question. See that. What is the assumption? Yes, based on the passage. Poor countries need to be bring about change in their existing farming techniques. Poor countries, that means developing countries. See that, how you use the words, terminology, vocabulary. Poor countries is here. But he never used the poor country in the passage. We need to understand. The indirect meaning, implications. Okay. So poor countries are Asia and African countries. They are to bring about the change in their existing farming technique. Yes or no? Yes, right? They bring adapting to change, right, in their farming system. Then developed countries have better infrastructure and they waste less food. Developed countries, West and Americas. Is it right or wrong? Wrong. What's the star?
Infrastructure is fine, they waste less food, I don't agree.
You see, the option is that's what you don't agree with that, right? So maybe you are correct. Based on the passage, we need to answer that, right? That's what we, right? Maybe the people that we, right, go with the wrong answer, that, right? Your perception is right. I do agree with you that, right? But confined to the passage. What is speaking about? He is speaking about the developed countries, better infrastructure. See that. What do you say that? Much of this change is brought about by affluent farmers in the West. Techniques developed in the West are being adopted in some places to make, right, tropical crops more productive. More productive crops are more. Applying the technology in agriculture. So they have better, right, infrastructure. Right, developed countries have better infrastructure. So we can say that both are correct, right? So both A and 1 and 2 are correct. Answer is C. 3 questions. Third question also asked based on the assumption. See that? Again he asked. What the question? Growing enough food for future generation will be a challenge. Yes or no? Yes. Corporate farming is a viable option for food security in poor countries? Yes. It's good, right? When you think about growing enough food for future generation will be a challenge. Did you ask a challenge about, right? In the passage? The statement is correct. You agree, I agree that it's correct. It's a challenge. Did he speak about the challenge in this passage? No, is the productive of staples such as rice and wheat has reached a plate, right? Is it challenge? Reached. Is there any challenge in the passage? If you take personally, out of context, it's correct. Third line, if global temperature continues to rise, some places will become unsuitable for farming. It's not a challenge. Unsuitable is saying that, right? But it didn't mention the challenge in the passage. That's what we are doing mistake, right? It seems correct to you and me out of the context. That's why we need to bound to the context of passage and answer the question, right? So it's correct, but it's not given in the passage, so it's not, right? It didn't speak about this one. Corporate farming is a viable option. Does it speak about corporate farming? No, it doesn't speak about corporate farming. It's good, maybe that, right? It's correct, seems good, but not speak about in this passage. What is the answer? Neither one nor the other. Right? See the simple that. How we need to approach a comprehensive passage. If we do not do practice, understand the concept and the terminologies, it's difficult for us. If you understand that, you can easily that. The main purpose of asking the reading comprehension is it's correct one for you and me, but not according to the passage given. So that's, we need to bound to the passages and answer the question. That's the important thing, right? We'll do practice, right? So the more we practice, we can be perfect. There is no shortcut, right? There is no easy way that. If you refer all the previous papers as some model papers, right? We can easily get it. If you are perfect in this reading comprehension, 30 questions, right? You will qualify. You will qualify. You may not, right? As Sir said, you may not qualify perfect in all areas. So if you do some extent, right? We can do better, easily qualify that. Thank you so much. Any doubts? Please.
You said that we should not use our knowledge outside the passage. But in few questions, we have to use that knowledge only.
Use to answer the question.
Yeah, that's it.
See what the passage is given, author is speaking about in the passage, that only you need to confine and answer the question, right? Apply that knowledge in the previous background. As you said that answer, right? The first one is they don't have better infrastructure, they'll waste the food less. I don't agree with it. That's you have background knowledge. Your perception is right. But does it speak about that concept here in the passage? No. That we need to follow. To attempt a question, don't apply our previous knowledge.
But I saw a passage which was talking about how few things are inherited in genes. And then the answer, it was asking about lactose intolerance. So I'm using the knowledge outside the passage.
I need to see the question on the passage there, right? In next class I will get the correct. No, I didn't get you that, right? Maybe that. Whether it is there you apply outside knowledge or it is given in the passage, right? I need to check that. Is not there in the passage given that what you question?
Not there about lactose intolerance, it was about inherited.
Maybe that. No, so as we mentioned that the first question answer, what is the idea of the author? What is that first one? You see that? He is not speaking about opinions. It is not there in the passage, but the implication is there. That you can apply as your previous knowledge. Understand the passage and apply your knowledge, right? Based on that context. But don't go deviate, right? So as we see this one, third question, corporate farming and growing enough for food, right? It seems it's our perception, our knowledge, background of previous knowledge is correct statement, but according to the context, not correct one. Right? That we need to keep it very in mind. So think, right? It's a very delicate line, right? We need to see segregation of this one. It is there in the passage. Do it seems correct or not? That we need to, right, correct, see that and answer the question. Maybe your answer is correct, right, that what you asked the question, it is there in the indirect. That's what it is correct one. Okay, anyone, anything else? Right, thank you so much.